There was the negative news that basically the CMA was telling Microsoft that they didn't think that they should be able to get Activision, and like some of the reasons were pretty ludicrous, and thinking that they should like sell off the brand or whatever, which I obviously isn't something that Microsoft is going to do. Clearly, they would like to be able to own, the Call of Duties and that kind of stuff, as well as, the other aspects of Activision. So, it's very nice to see that they're going to fight this, that they're going to continue to go out there and just do the thing that honestly keeps them so far ahead of Sony, in my opinion, in these aspects. Listen, I think that are they 100% a great company and never make any mistakes? No, but I also think that it's pretty clear that they have gamers at heart when it comes to stuff like this. I mean, putting Call of Duty on a ton of different platforms and stuff just makes sense. It really does. And, Sony, on the other hand, have really done a piss poor job of saying why this shouldn't happen in general. And I've mentioned this numerous times. It really reads like it comes from the desk of Jim Ryan. It's sad to see. And we do have some good news, though, right? So a lot of the PlayStation fanboys are running with like this narrative, the bad narrative, that this is a done deal now, and that, nothing can save this deal, and Microsoft is screwed, and all this kind of stuff. But it turns out that might not be the case. And we're starting to see even more good news come out from Microsoft, and this is really cool to see. I have to admit it myself. This is really cool to see. And not only is it cool to see, but I'm glad to see that Microsoft is out there doing the things that they need to do to kind of change the perceptions. And you have to go on the offensive a bit when stuff like that comes up. So I'm glad to see them kind of do that and continue to work on what they need to work on. And I can't wait to get into this. This is really good news. And if you're somebody who's looking for sort of a good place to understand what all this nonsense means, I think this will be a good one for you. So, what's up, everybody? Crap Gamer here with Crap Gamer Reviews, back with yet another video. Thank you so much for checking it out. I certainly appreciate it. Please like, share, subscribe. I would appreciate that as well. It helps out the channel. I'm looking to get 100 likes on each of the videos that I do. Certainly, this is very, very interesting, to say the least, and could go a long way in exactly what we're going to see before too long. So yeah, let's go ahead and jump into this, because like I said, this is super interesting. Now, when it comes to this, analysts are talking, who are, in the industry, all that kind of good stuff, talking about, Sony and this deal and Microsoft. And I think that obviously this is something that we'll continue to see and monitor. But at the same time, I think that obviously now analysts are saying that this is basically saying that the deal is close to being approved. Webbush says the CMA's objections suggest the UK knows it's in a losing legal argument. That's according to Nick McKay and Michael Pachter, who suggested in a research note that the regulator's antitrust warning is a signal that the UK knows it is in a losing legal argument. Following a 5-month investigation this past week, the CMA said it had provisionally found that the deal reduced competition and resulted in higher prices and fewer choices and less innovation. The regulator outlined several potential structured remedies that could help clear a path to it getting approval, including a partial divestiture of Activision Blizzard that could see it selling off part of the company that deals with Call of Duty, or even the entire Activision business unit. However, the CMA said it would also consider behavioral remedies such as Microsoft's offer to make Call of Duty available on other platforms post-merger, although it views these as less favorable than structural ones, which rarely require monitoring and enforcement once implemented. Now, in December, the U.S. FTC announced plans to file a lawsuit in a bid to stop the merger. And then, of course, the other week, the EU issued Microsoft with a charge sheet setting out its objections in the deal. In their note to investors, Webbush's McKay and Pachter suggested that UK, EU, and US regulators are involved in a game of one-upsmanship. And I quote, The political impact of today's CMA action is perhaps the most important. We read today's release as a signal that the UK knows it has a losing legal argument. In our view, the FTC figured this out late last year and rushed to file suit to block the merger in hopes of being the first to extract concessions from Microsoft. We believe that the CMA has reached the same conclusion during its review and accelerated its formal objection to deal with these proposed remedies in order to step in front of the FTC and gain bragging rights. While the FTC has yet to offer proposed remedies, and the CMA, by listing onerous structural remedies, had positioned itself to be the, quote, dragon slayer in this action. The analysis said they view the CMA's announcement as a signal that the merger is close to being approved and that they expect it to go through by mid-May. We continue to believe that Microsoft will agree to all the CMA's proposed behavioral remedies except for making Activision content available on competing cloud services. The sticking point could be delay a favorable resolution in the UK, but we can expect that the FTC and EU will seize on this sticking point to extract concessions of their own. In a statement provided to VGC where I got this, Microsoft Corporate Vice President and Deputy General Counsel said, "We are committed to offering effective and easily enforceable solutions that address the CMA's concerns. The CMA is now inviting responses from interested parties to its list of proposed remedies by February 22nd and responses to its provisional findings by March 1st. Its first final report ruling is actually April 26th, which again, we'll see how that all goes. But again, this is basically, and people might go, well, Pachter's always wrong, blah, blah, blah. Listen, Pachter can be wrong about who he thinks is going to be Game of the Year, but at the end of the day, this is actually part of his actual day-to-day job here, being an analyst for this kind of stuff. So, and he's not the only one. There's various lawyers and things like that who are very much saying that exactly what, everybody else has been saying, is that they have no deal. And I've mentioned this, and I don't know if I've mentioned this in a video, but on social media, certainly. When the CMA filed this complaint and, recommended this, that, and the other thing, one of the things in the documents that was released was them saying that if Microsoft put Call of Duty on the cloud, it would be a real blow to anybody who doesn't have a computer, or excuse me, a console, meaning, it would ruin it for people that doesn't have money for the console. They're under the impression that you need a console to actually go out there and play cloud games, which obviously couldn't be further from the truth. You definitely don't need a console to do that, and it shows just the level of ignorance, in my opinion, as well, because again, Microsoft, they could do, they've done so many good things for gaming lately. I don't understand the whole idea behind, hey, let's go ahead and try and block this stuff from happening. It never really made sense to me, and I think what we're going to see is this deal pass, and probably pretty much right on time with when it should have. And I do hope that we see Microsoft, I don't know, I don't want to say be petty with Sony, but I think that clearly there are some issues there that are going to have to get worked through. Like Sony, I never expected them to be so, I don't want to say petty, but I guess petty is probably the best word for it. But, anyway, it's crazy to think all the stuff that's happening right now. I would love your thoughts and opinions, though. Rack 'em up, fact 'em up, crap gamer 'em up. Crap gamer out.